Good evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, February 11th, 2020. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, the Tullahoma Area Chamber of Commerce held their annual membership banquet last Friday. We'll bring you video from the Coffee County Young Republicans Candidates Forum, and we'll continue our talk with Tullahoma Mayor Lane Curley, who has announced his retirement at the end of this term. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has proudly served your auto rental for over 30 years. Check out this huge selection to choose from. Small car, mid-size car, full-size car, crossover vehicle, SUV, minivan, pickup trucks, 12 and 15 passenger vans. Whether big or small, Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has them all. Stop by our 2 locations to serve you, Tullahoma and in Winchester. And remember, my question is, why rent anywhere else?
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the 2 of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. The Tullahoma Area Chamber of Commerce held their annual membership banquet last Friday night at the Manchester Coffee County Conference Center. Let's watch as the Chamber's staff briefs the membership on the accomplishments of the past year.
So what we're going to do now is these guys over here, they made a promise to me. They said that if they sold this place out, they were going to do a happy dance. You think they're going to do it? So guess what? They sold it out, so they got to show me a happy dance. Let me see what y'all got.
That's the best we can do in heels. Afterward, there'll be the Running Man and lots of footwork take place. So stay tuned. Hi everyone and welcome. Kat does a really great job of introducing people, but she forgot to introduce me. So, that's Faith, y'all. I'm Faith, y'all. Thank you. And I'm the Marketing and Communications Coordinator at the Chamber. And I know what you all are thinking. Well, yes, there is a Hope and a Faith that work at the Chamber. But what about Tisha? Well, we recently discovered that Tisha means joy, and all of you can Google that. I'm super excited to be here tonight, but I'm even more excited to share with you my role at the Chamber. I bring a fresh energy and excitement to not only my team, but the membership as a whole. In my role, I grow the digital footprint and identity of the Chamber into a must-see point of reference for all the happenings throughout the year. In 2019, we've added more than 500 Facebook likes and 520 Facebook followers. Our Instagram following has reached more than 1,300, and our Twitter following is close behind with 1,200. We've reached countless thousands through our social media campaigns, but the proof that we've been successful in our social outlets is our continued sold-out and record-breaking events. As Faith mentioned, we do get a good laugh when people say, well, you've got hope and you've got faith, but what about you? Well, I bring the joy, and I hope you've all felt that this year. As your membership director, it's my honor to serve you. Our membership, a membership that has not only grown in numbers across the board, but this year, a membership that has grown together. Thank you for leaning in and embracing us in so many ways. Now, let's talk about 2019 by the numbers. We've exceeded our goal of 400 members and broke attendance records at every single event. Our members invested over $200,000 through memberships, events, and sponsorships. Through our website and membership listings, we were reached over 27,000 times. I could nerd out on numbers for most of the night, but what's most important for you to know is that we have had an amazing year. When thinking about 2019, I tried to choose a word to reflect on 2019, and I chose community. The Chamber experienced some unexpected and complicated times this past year, and we were blown away by the love and support we received from all of you during that time. So I just want to take this time to say thank you to my team. All I could think of to say to both of you are a whole list of adjectives that all mean amazing. I'm so thankful for you both and the commitment you bring to work every single day. It was important to me for y'all to hear from them as well, because everything we're celebrating tonight would not be possible without the team effort that goes on in our office every single day. But they both have a job, so don't get any ideas. To the board of directors and ambassadors, you do not know how much we appreciate each and every one of you. They say it takes a village to raise a child, but I'm also convinced it takes a village to grow a city into the community we all love to proudly call home. Let's talk about why we're here tonight and exactly what we're celebrating. Faith shared how we are helping to promote our members and bring awareness to new businesses in the area. Tisha shared some exciting figures from 2019 with plans to build on those numbers in 2020. The only number she left out is the number of gray hairs I found this year, which is 2. So what's new for 2020? We have several new fundraisers planned for this year. Faith tells me that people actually like to run, so we're going to host a 5K. And we're also focusing to help promote the young professionals in our community by hosting an event for the 40 under 40. We are partnering with the Manchester Chamber of Commerce and Coffee County government to revamp the Coffee County Leadership Program. We have a new magazine that is available for the very first time tonight. This magazine is a resource that goes into every person's hand that visits the Chamber or expresses interest in our community. We are so excited to help Clayton Shoe Store celebrate their 120th birthday by featuring them on the cover this year.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new Owner Advantage program. It starts as simple as your first year's maintenance is included with the purchase. We have 1 year, 3 year, 5-year plans available. Car detailing, car rental, collision repair. Stop by one of our 5 locations and let one of our certified sales staff tell you all about it. The Russell Barnett Automotive Family Advantage program. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. The Coffee County Young Republicans hosted a Meet the Candidates Forum last Thursday night for the 4 candidates seeking to fill the unexpired term of General Sessions Judge Tim Brock, who unexpectedly passed away last year. In this segment, we'll hear opening statements from Greg Perry and Stacy Lindemann Lynch.
Good evening. This microphone does not project. It's for the camera. I'm going to try to project my voice as much as possible tonight, but my voice is leaving me somewhat. This is a different experience for me. I speak in public every single day, but not with this view. My back is always to the audience. It's nice to actually see some faces for a change. And thank you for coming here tonight. I think this is what makes a small community special, is turnout for events like this. So I appreciate the attendance. A little bit about myself. I was raised in Tullahoma from 5th grade on. I went to Tullahoma High School, graduated Tullahoma. My mom and dad still reside in Tullahoma. My dad's a lifelong resident, went to Tullahoma schools. I'm somewhat of a byproduct. I lived in Manchester for approximately 18 years with my wife, Lori. She's here somewhere. My son, Blake, and my daughter, Lauren, is 26 and is now living in Los Angeles. So, I work in law practice with my brother-in-law, Brent Keaton. It's a family-owned business. We came here approximately 13 years ago, placed a shingle on the front door and said, this is what we're going to try to do. In hindsight, don't know if that was the smartest decision, but it worked out. Thanks again to a small community like this. We've had a lot of support, a lot of family support. Couldn't have done it without my brother-in-law. And we practice, we're a general practice. It's a small town. We do a little bit of everything. My practice is mainly focused on domestic relations law, family law. I do many, many mediations a year, which allows me to see and view a lot of facts from a lot of cases in a lot of different situations. I look forward to speaking to you further tonight. If you haven't already made your mind up on who you're voting for, I would truly appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Stacy Lynch, and I, like Greg, have also lost my voice. So I am speaking as loudly as I can. I hope that you can hear me. First, I want to say thank you very much to the Coffee County Young Republicans for having the wonderful idea of getting us all together and having this forum, and also to the Bar Association, which I have a special place in my heart for. I was a former president of the Bar Association, and love that they have also decided to get us all together and have an opportunity to speak to you all about this very important position for General Sessions Judge, and give you a little bit of information about it, and hopefully have a chance to learn a little bit more about us each as candidates, as well as the position of the General Sessions Judge. I was raised in Tullahoma, moved here when I was 13 months old. One of those who, my dad is an engineer and came to Tullahoma from California to work out at the base, pretty much like a lot of other people here in Coffee County. My parents are Bob and Sandy Lindeman. I got the best of both worlds, is what I say. I got my dad's engineering side and my mom's very outgoing, and her faith and support of the community. And she taught me early on how important it was to be involved in the community. And that's something my sister and I learned really early on. My sister Dawn Asbell now, she is also one who has just gone out and done everything she can for her community as well. And that's something that that we continue to do. I graduated from Tullahoma High School, and graduated from Tullahoma High School in 1990, went to Vanderbilt University and graduated from there. Decided that I wanted to work in the business world, and I was in human resources in the corporate world. Graduated from, decided I instead of teaching people about the law, I would actually go to law school. So I went to the Nashville School of Law while I worked full-time and started my family. And I worked with Vanessa Jackson, Jim Lane, and Don Ray. I have a general practice. I work with criminal, civil, as well as juvenile law. I was named the magistrate of the juvenile court in July of 2018. And at that time, I preside over the Safe Baby Court and the Family Treatment Courts. Very important jobs here in Coffee County, and actually preside over some juvenile court cases. So I'm the only candidate here today that can say that I've worked in all of the different practices, in general sessions, criminal, civil, as well as juvenile, and I've actually sat on the bench and decided cases. So that's why I'm asking for your vote on March 3rd for General Sessions Judge, and I look forward to telling you more about myself and as well as the court. So thank you very much for your time.
After these messages, we'll have opening statements from the other two candidates. We'll be right back with more News Leader on 6.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Now we'll hear opening statements from General Sessions Judge candidates Jess Stockwell and Jason Husky.
Good evening, folks. Thank you for coming tonight. My name's Jess Stockwell. I'm a candidate for General Sessions Judge. The reason that we have campaigns is so folks like you can see the difference between the different candidates. And I know all these people. I've worked with all these people. They're all fine people. I have a great deal of respect for every one of them. But there are differences. In my campaign, I am not taking a dime from anyone. This is a self-funded campaign. If a judge is out for lunch and one of you fine folks decides to buy him a hamburger, that's a judicial ethics violation. Now, during a campaign, it's perfectly okay to give people money. And that's the way the rules are set up. And that does not make sense to me. So I'm not accepting money from anyone. I am self-funding my campaign. Experience. Experience is probably the most important thing for this job, and I think we probably will all agree on that. I don't know, but I think experience is key. I graduated from the University of Denver College of Law as a Chancellor Scholar, which is a very prestigious scholarship, which I'm quite proud of. During law school, I worked for the Colorado State Public Defender's Office, also a very prestigious position for a law student, and I went on to work for them after law school. After graduation, I was in private practice in Denver, Colorado, and then my wife and I chose to move to Tennessee, where I worked with Campbell Smoot. Campbell and I tried cases ranging from murder to public intoxication. I've worked with judges, other lawyers, and police officials daily. Experience does count. And while most attorneys spend the largest part of their career working from their offices, I have spent mine in courtrooms. I've handled thousands of individual cases. I would be willing to bet that I have more trial experience than any of my opponents, and probably more than all of them put together. In my opinion, a competent judge gets as much information as possible, applies any relevant law, and most importantly, considers the impact of their decision before they make it. Thank you for listening, folks. Appreciate it.
Good evening, everybody. And as part of the Young Republicans putting this on, I wanted to say what a great week it's been to be a Republican, and very proud of what's happened in the past week. And my name's Jason Husky. I've grown up here in Manchester. My parents are from Tullahoma. We've lived our whole lives in Coffee County. My father's Robert Husky. He's been practicing here for, I believe, about 50 years. My mother was Sharon Turnbow in Tullahoma and raised there, and she passed in 2011. I'm married. My wife is Christy Davis Husky, and she is somewhere in this room. And we have two beautiful children of 4 and 6 who are hopefully home getting ready for bed at this point. I began actually working in a law office at about 13 years old, doing odds and ends, and did more as I got older. I graduated from MTSU with a bachelor's in criminal justice, minor in psychology, and emphasis in political science. And then after a short break, I went to Nashville School of Law and graduated in 2006, actually with Greg. Well, Greg and I were in the same class, and have been practicing as an attorney here ever since. I had a lot I was going to discuss about as far as the breakdown of the job, and Will thoughtfully went through some of that for you. But the experience is key in this. And as Jess pointed out, Jess has probably more straight experience in time than any of us. But Jess we have focuses in criminal justice. in criminal law, which is about 25% to 30%, depending on how you slice it, of what comes through General Sessions Court. It is a wide-ranging court. It covers every facet that people have to deal with in life. Everything from traffic violations, family law, orders of protection. Then you get into juvenile cases, which are a very important part, but actually make up a very small part of the time. And I'll go ahead and, he just had a red flag, so I'm going to go sit down.
More News Leader is coming up in a moment.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford in Winchester. Check out the 2018 Ford Taurus, yours today for $26,992. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Welcome back. Tullahoma Mayor Lane Curley announced last week that he would not seek re-election when his current term expires in August. Jim spoke with Mayor Curley, and tonight we bring you part 2 of that interview.
You seem to have, over the years, had a lot of interest in education. And are you pleased now with where we are in our school systems in Tullahoma?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We strive for excellence in education. And we've had I mean, if you visited the schools as often as I visit the schools and see and hear some of the questions I get asked and just the encouraging words that I hear from some of these young people and my encouragement of them, and I challenge them to reach their potential and work hard and study hard. I mean, it depends on the age level, of course, but man, if you could visit as many classrooms as I've visited over the years, you'd be excited about the potential of our young people as well.
I remember when you ran for office, I believe it was the first time you ran for office, but I was speaking with your father and Bob Curley, and he said, I don't know what happened because my wife and I have always tried to be good people, and we've worked hard and lived and tried to live right, and now we are blessed with a politician in our family.
Yeah.
I suspect in reality he actually supported you in that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he always said, you know, there's 6 Curleys that live in Tullahoma, and one of these days, Lane's going to run for something and only get 5 votes, and he'll never know which of us never supported him. So, yes, I think he was proud, and my mother as well. So, right. Yeah.
You mentioned you spent 8 years in the legislature. What was it like for you? Were there any surprises when you first moved into that job?
Yeah, it's a lot harder than I thought it would be. I'd only seen it sort of from the periphery, but once you drill down into it and you've got all these pieces of legislation coming at you on a daily basis, and some of it pretty consequential stuff, and so there was just a lot of reading and studying involved, but a lot of the controversial bills, if you were a sponsor, you'd have to go around and solicit support and trade and all that kind of stuff. And I was never, frankly, very good at that kind of thing. I think the executive role suits me much more than a legislative role.
During your time in the Tennessee legislature, and I know how political that situation can be, and sometimes the right thing doesn't always get done. Right. But I've known you to always be a very spiritual person. Were there times that things and decisions that you had to make there conflicted with you as an individual?
Well, I suspect there probably were, but I never have lost any sleep over any decision that I've made. And so whether constituents agreed with me or not, I tried to make the decision that I thought was in the best interest in that case, of my district and the state, you know, for that matter. And no, I never felt any kind of tug that way. Right. That I recall.
And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guest includes Sandy Sebring, who will bring us some more information about the Veterans Memorial at the Caboose in Tullahoma. Lee Deckelman will tell us about a free yoga program at the American Legion in Tullahoma. And Judy Jenkins will also come by to remind us about Trinity Adult Daycare's diamond-studded evening coming up. All that and more on this week's Living.
We'll be right back with your weather forecast right after these messages.
Mustang Sally. You better slow that Mustang down at Russell Barnett Ford in Tullahoma on Highway 55, where you can receive up to $4,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Ford in Tullahoma. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party. But things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her. And now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1938 at 75 degrees. The record low was in 1968 at 9 degrees. Average high on this day is 52 and the average low is 28. Rain in the forecast for tonight with a low of 41. Storms in the forecast for Wednesday with a high of 64 and a low of 44. And cloudy weather in the forecast for Thursday with a high of 47 and a low of 19. And that's our news leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.